you're wrestling the big show tonight, and he's chokeslamming you through a table. I was like, oh, great.
We had like a built-in buffet area, and that was like my stockroom. Like I had shirts piled like up to the ceiling.
So let's talk about what you're into.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we know that you binge shoes. So Amanda, do you want Dolly for president?
Yes, I do. Like 100%.
I'm only saying that because I'm sipping out of my Dolly
They're so
president
cute,
coffee mug we
right?
got here. Yeah, it says make country music great again.
I mean, I don't think it's bad, but Dolly could always make it better.
Oh, so that's okay. So have you listened to the podcast Dolly Parton's America?
I haven't, but I think you told me a bit about it.
I did. So it was weird because I was like really into it. I really liked the content. I really liked what I learned about her, but there was an execution that I wasn't a fan of, I have to say.
Yeah, this is the one with like the sounds, right?
Yeah, so I don't want to like hate on anyone or anything. I mean, it's definitely its own, it's a flavor, but it was very like, it was meant to be a little bit
flavor.
It was meant to be a little bit more like educational maybe, and it's more of a not political, but like it's like talking about Dolly Parton's America is actually a course at a college.
Yeah.
So they took that and they made it a podcast, and there were just little things like they go with. So I guess Dolly's nephew or something is one of her security guards, and they're taking the podcast interviewers up to the house and up to her like childhood house, and you're hearing the crunch of the leaves, and they're talking about whether or not there's snakes out there in the woods and what kind of snakes might live out here. But then later on, they're like backstage at one of her big concerts, and they're talking about the swish of her beads as she walks on her dress, like the beads swishing
Like,
as
that's
she's
what
walking.
I want to hear.
Yeah, I want to hear that. I don't care about the snakes near her childhood home. I want to hear about the beads. And there was stuff about like butterflies, but I want to know more about the butterflies.
Right.
So I feel like
the wrong symbolism.
yeah, they kind of didn't work in the thing. Like you're like, give me more of that and a little less of that,
Well, I hope maybe there'll be a season 2.
But I have to say, like I can, we know podcasting is hard. Not that hard. We're quite enjoying this, aren't
I
we?
mean, I feel like we're pros now.
This is like the end of our.
When you rate and review,
This is our end of
which
our
you should.
season. Yes, you should rate and review. And this is the end of our season 1. These guests today are our like last real guests because we're going to do secrets next week.
Yee!
We're going to reveal all the secrets everybody's left behind. Wait, I need to sip out of my Dolly mug. Hold on.
and if anybody knows Dolly, that's the goal.
That is the goal. That is the ceiling for us. So let's talk about our guests because I know you're pumped.
I love our guests.
You are
today.
super pumped today. So we have Dana
show you.
and Matt Jackson. Look, we've got these dolls here. We're surrounded
it's not
by
a doll.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's a figure.
Action figure.
That's a buddy.
I have a wrestling buddy here. Wait, see if you can hear him. This is the
You gotta
cleaner.
punch him.
Oh, I gotta punch him.
I think you got what it takes to take on the cleaner?
So I've got the cleaner. I'm gonna snuggle him for most of the
And
interview.
this is Matt, and his wife Dana's coming with him, and they are just
Yes.
a power couple.
Well, here, let me
the
give them a little
wrestling
intro.
industry.
So they are a super tag team power couple today, raised both of them in Rancho Cucamonga, California. Matt and Dana were married in 2008. They have 2 kids. Matt is one half of the Young Bucks
Yes.
in the All Elite Wrestling, which is considered the greatest tag team of all time and used to make an entrance. They used to make an entrance to Hanson's Bop. Bop, 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 bop. Which I just love. That's so cute. They have small kids at home, and while they were really little, Matt commuted to Japan. I want to ask them about this to wrestle monthly for many years where they were huge stars. So they were huge stars. He and his brother were huge stars over in Japan, and he used to go over there all the time. They became big stars independently, and in that time, Dana led a merchandise empire for the Young Bucks, including deals in major retailers nationwide.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where
She
we
did
got
that
these
on her own.
These toys and stuff today, right?
Yeah, well, now she's, doing it for AEW, but she used to do it just for them.
Oh,
which was crazy.
you've got yours talking there.
I know.
So they have a reality sketch comedy show also on YouTube, a YouTube series called Being the Elite. And it grew so large, it has over 500,000 subscribers that it led to the creation of AEW, which is often #1 in cable and sells at arenas nationwide and started in 2019. So this is
It's new.
deal. I hear they're also champion bingers. So I want to bring them in and find out what heels they're digging on TV these days. Get it? The heels,
I see what you
the
did
bad guys or the bad girls. Probably Beth of Yellowstone, bad girl. She's a heel, right?
Yep.
She's a heel. We
For sure.
love to hate the heels. Amanda, did you know that an estimated 5 billion plastic hand soap and cleaning bottles are thrown away each year?
That's a lot.
Yeah, and if that's not bad enough, each bottle can be made of more than 90% water.
That's a lose-lose situation for the whole planet.
Yes, people, hey, it's 2022. Stop wasting water and throwing out more plastic and get Blue Land's revolutionary refill cleaning system instead.
Blue Land's idea is simple and beautiful. Buy the bottle once, refill it forever. No more plastic waste. The only thing you need to discard is the outdated idea that eco-friendly products are more expensive and less effective.
Yeah, because they're not. Very good point. So right now, we want you to get 20% off your first order. You can go to blueland.com/binge, BING.
That's 20% off your first order of any Blue Land products at blueland.com/binge.
From their best-selling Clean Essentials Kit to their hand soap duo and plastic-free laundry and dishwasher tablets, Blue Land has something for every inch of your home. And backed by very popular demand is the Blue Land's toilet tablet cleaner.
And I can speak on that because it's fabulous. My bathroom smells unbelievable.
And that's hard to say in my household when you have 3 boys, so...
Oh, I have
Loving
my fair
it.
share of kids and traffic in there.
So try Blue Land today. You'll love it, and the planet is going to thank you. So go to blueland.com/binge, BINGE. Thank you, Blue Land, for sponsoring this episode of What Women Binge. So we all know we are what we eat, but you also know how hard it is to plan and prep every week, every day, every meal, right?
They eat so much.
Why do we have to eat 3 times a day, Amanda? I
No.
can't. It's a lot
So
to
much.
plan. And so you know what I like to do instead? I like to get Splendid Spoon.
I do too.
Yeah, because they send you plant-based, gluten-free, ready-made meals delivered right to your door. That saves you a trip to the grocery store, as well as having to buy like specialty ingredients that add up, and then the fridge is full of stuff. And
It's so much easier to eat healthy. It takes all the work out of it, and you don't even have to think.
Yeah,
They
but-
have 50 meal options that you can choose from. They've got smoothies, grain and noodle bowls, soups, and the wellness shots, which we love.
Splendid Spoon gets it, right? They
really
know
do.
that healthy food can get a bad rap, but these meals are actually really delicious.
I love them.
Yeah, I got my first delivery and I was just hooked.
I'm still on that lime coconut smoothie indulgence.
Yeah.
That's like
I know that beachy one. I
favorite.
like that one. Listen, what we want to do is we want to get you guys started. You can save $35 on your first order of delicious plant-based meals at splendidspoon.com/binge35. That's BINGE 35.
That's splendidspoon.com/binge35, and you can save $35 on your first order. So it comes out to be like $6.66 a meal.
Yeah, that's not much. So thank you, Splendid Spoon, for sponsoring this podcast. So we are here with Matt and or I should say Dana and Matt Jackson. And we're holding our dolls.
Yeah, I got
Are these dolls? They're action figures. These are not action
These
figures.
are wrestling
dolls.
buddies.
Wrestling
buddies.
buddies.
Yeah.
But I keep squeezing mine a little too tight. Wait.
They talk. How do you make them talk?
You got to hit it.
punch 'em.
Just punch it.
Got what it takes to take on the cleaner?
I like it. I'm gonna. This is actually pretty comfy. I might
is.
always do our interviews by holding a wrestling
I
buddy.
know.
'cause
Look,
it
we're on the
actually
back
is-
of the box in these ones.
Yes,
And
it's
look
so
at your
cute.
cutie pie.
Is that your kid?
There's
That is,
little
that's our
Zachary.
youngest
On the
Zach.
back of the box.
No.
is
He's 6.
Adorable picture.
He's
He's 5 here?
He was 4 or 5
He got a
there.
really good haircut.
5, I
then.
think.
He needs a
So
haircut.
did.
cute.
Bad
So you guys have 2 kids though, right?
We
so
do.
you only
So
use
Zach
one
is
in the
our
pictures?
youngest. Courtney is the more shy one that doesn't want really anything to do with wrestling. She's 10. But Zach is definitely way more into wrestling.
Oh, he's got all the
and-
action figures.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. My
He's got
bathtub
his-
is just covered,
covered?
in you
Same.
Oh,
guys.
yeah. Same.
That's weird.
It's crazy.
You got your toys in the tub.
I was like, what are you doing? Why are you putting them in the bathtub? And Matt's like, oh, it's fine. I did it when I was a kid all the time.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
I give him
well,
all my old LJ and rubber ones from the 80s.
Yes.
So you put them in the tub, and the tub was like black.
Oh, yeah.
No, they needed a bath.
They'd break
yeah,
down.
give them all a bath.
Back when things broke down.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having
I
us.
really appreciate it. I know you guys have a lot you want to share about the things that you guys binge, but we have to
Yes.
make the fans happy at home for a little bit.
We have to ask you all the things.
Yeah,
all the
of course.
things.
All the
Please.
things Young Bucks, all the things AEW, which we're going to introduce Melissa here to tonight.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm so
She's
excited
never
that you
been.
I'm
did
going to go to
come.
my first AEW tonight. I'm so excited.
You've been to a few WWE shows, though,
Yes,
right?
I have.
remember
Yeah.
seeing you-
SummerSlam and
She's well versed in the
Yes.
wrestling world,
Yes.
but
well, used to be.
Yeah.
Used to be. It changes so quickly.
If
does.
you miss
It
a
really
week, you're-
does,
you're
yeah.
So
screwed.
what did I hear about? Like, so now catch me up on your. Are you currently a heel?
Yes.
You are.
Me and my brother are the Young Bucks. We're a tag team, and we turned heel, what, a year ago? About a year ago?
About a year ago, I think.
We were like these beloved baby faces, and then we just completely did a 180. And we
You did a Britney Spears.
We did a Britney Spears. Pretty much
Yeah, we
shaved
call
our
it a
heads with
Christina Aguilera or a,
oh,
yeah.
it's definitely a Britney.
went through
full
that. Went through a
2007
bad
Britney.
girl
We
stage.
started wearing crazy, expensive sneakers to the ring, and that kind of got hot online.
Oh, I think I did hear something about these sneakers. Did the
Yeah.
sneakers?
Got some on right now, actually. These are actually like my lower. end
Those are
ones, but-
pretty.
Yeah, thank you.
Very
He's
nice.
got way too many.
Chocolate milk or something they're called.
Chocolate milk.
Logan probably knows. He's
Probably so. Logan's a sneakerhead now,
So
too.
you so you're a
Thanks to
sneakerhead.
you.
I love it.
He has officially taken over our closet
Oh, it's
with
madness.
shoes.
Yeah.
Like
husband is
it's,
the
You
same
are a
way.
patient.
Is he
I
really?
have-
Oh, geez.
I have like a fourth of the amount of shoes that this one has. It's
gotten
crazy.
bad.
I'm like, okay, we need to figure something out because our closet is not getting any bigger. Like, what are you doing?
You got to throw something away.
Right.
when you get
I
something
buy
home.
about
Yes.
2 pairs a week now.
It's really bad.
And they have to be very rare or like
I
expensive.
can't even tell you the last time I bought a pair of shoes.
Really?
See,
No.
shoes are God's way of keeping me frugal. And I know specifically you have a pair that my husband like drools over, and I do too.
I'd
They're
like to
really
know which
the
pair.
the Dior,
The Dior?
Nikes,
Oh, gosh.
which I heard there's a
Yes.
story
There's
behind
some
these.
drama
Yes,
behind those.
I want to hear about this.
So we first wrestled when we turned heel in the retro, the highs, the high tops. That got a lot of buzz. And then I had always wanted the lows. And I was never really going to buy another pair of those. So she actually bought me a pair for my birthday. And these are like $6,000 like
Right.
$6,000 or $7,000 you
Yeah.
probably spent on the first pair.
Way too much on shoes.
Way too much on
Yes.
shoes. Right? It's ridiculous. So I had them and I never wore them. I think I wore them once at church.
For Easter.
I was like, it's Easter. I'm bringing out the
I'm wearing them for Jesus.
for the
Do you
Lord.
guys do what my son? So my kids are. I have 3 boys, and the 2 older ones are sneakerheads, and they walk when they wear the good ones. Usually
Yeah.
they wear ratty, smelly, gross ones because they don't want to break in the other ones. And so
can't
when
get
they
a
walk,
crease.
they won't make a crease. They will walk really stiff, but they look like idiots.
He
I'll
gets
crease them up.
destroyed.
I'll do yard
he
work.
gets
Okay.
destroyed
So you actually
online.
enjoy
I wear my
yours.
shoes.
Okay,
I took
good.
the trash out, and people are like, "Are you crazy?" I'm like, "That's you buy shoes to wear them."
Well,
you
I guess
know?
if you wrestle in them,
That's
Right,
what I don't
yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
My kids are.
That's
like,
was it the Dior's where you posted a picture and everybody's like, "You're creasing them."
I was creasing them like in the first photo because I'm a new sneakerhead. It's probably been a couple of years.
Yeah.
I didn't realize all these rules that I was breaking.
right?
They got on mine and my brother's case. Like, how can you do that to these shoes? These beloved shoes.
Their shoes.
they're
So I-
meant to be worn.
So I wore the shoes once at Easter. I packed them on a trip. I checked them into my bag for one of these AEW trips. I wanted to wear them
and
on TV.
this was further after Easter. This was like what,
months
September,
later. Yeah.
August or
Yeah.
September recently.
I go into my bag when I get into my hotel to see if I want to put the shoes on, and they were gone. And
No.
I couldn't find them. I called the airlines. I called the airport.
they were just
someone
gone.
took them.
oh my god.
I talked to the cops.
Is there insurance on that kind of thing? Is that part
Well,
of your household?
You would know more about that than
I was the one that had to call around and like figure
Yeah.
out what the heck to do because I'm like, first we called our lawyers that we work with at work because I'm like, okay, what can we really even do? Like
Yeah.
Matt checked these into his bag, like
an idiot. Like, who does that?
I mean, normal
that's the first thing he
humans.
said
No,
to
but don't
me.
take
I'm like,
anything.
what?
I once had my mother-in-law gave me a Google Home for Christmas. I put it in my bag to carry it back, and it was taken. And that's only
sad.
$200 or something. Not even.
Right.
The other week, my brother's entire bag disappeared.
Ooh.
Entire bag gone. He'll never get it back.
Oh my
Like the
goodness.
whole bag's gone, and the number was erased. So we think someone's onto us now at the airport. It's like, I think we did a little too much bragging online about. Look we have all these great expensive shoes.
Oh,
I,
you
yeah.
think,
did the Kim Kardashian.
I think they found us.
Now you're just
Yeah.
going to be carrying
Nah, I
them
don't
on
check
for
it
the
out.
rest of your
Super
life.
careful.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, and then she was nice enough to buy me a second pair that I've yet to wear.
Yeah.
They're
I'm
still
like,
in the
you
box.
cannot
That's
take
a
these
sweet
anywhere.
wife.
If you're
Yeah.
going to travel with them, you have to wear them on your feet the entire time. Don't
Yeah.
let them out of your sight. But no, we went through our homeowner's insurance and it was going to raise our rate. And like, it
yeah,
just
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
make
Nope,
any sense
not worth
to
it.
deal with it. So I was like,
Yeah.
whatever. We'll
You're
just
so generous,
take the
though.
loss.
Closet space and sneakers.
I know.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've taken over. She's getting a little angry. I could tell.
You're going to need to build her a new closet.
We're going to have to do something. We
I
need to
just need a new room.
rearrange.
I need a new room for the shoes.
We need a bigger house for the shoes.
So I understand. So we said in the intro that you were away in Japan wrestling a lot when you had the little ones at home. Would you
Yes.
both? Or,
Oh my gosh, it was crazy.
It was
like
tough.
the first trip that he did though was how long was that first trip to Japan? 5 weeks?
Oh, before we had the kids.
Yeah,
5
before we
weeks.
had the kids.
Yeah.
That was when we were engaged still. We were a couple months out from being married. And I thought that was hard. And then we had the kids.
yeah.
And I remember when we had our daughter Courtney, so she's 10 now. So this was 8 years ago because she was 2, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
I was working full time and our schedules didn't line up. My days off were, I think, at the time, like Friday, Saturday, which was when he was
I go
leaving
on the
for the
road.
road. So thankfully, his mom would come down and help us out, watch her. But it was hard. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm basically a single mom, like half the week. And then he would take longer tours where he was gone for a couple weeks at a time. And,
And like overseas,
Yeah.
where
Oh
you
my
like
gosh.
hard to get in touch.
17 hours
So hard.
ahead.
Oh
8
my-
years ago, it was a
so
little
hard.
different.
was
I'm
tough.
so thankful for technology though and having FaceTime because when he
Yeah.
first started going out there, we didn't have that. We
Yeah.
had to rely on email. It
Calling
was
cards.
Skype.
I would
and
spend all my money on
international
calling cards. I'd go to
cards.
the phone booths and just waste all my money I made on the tour just to call back because I missed her so
Oh my
much.
god.
It was hard.
That's how different it was. That was in 2008.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that
Technology
long
has
ago, right?
changed.
That was
So-
right when.
so-
That's
yeah,
right when
so
2008
much.
when like the first iPhone. I remember just because that's
Literally,
when my second son was
yes.
born, and I remember being on set. He was a few months old and sitting there, and my husband saying, "I think we should get iPhones." And I was like, "I don't know."
Right.
Like,
That was still
new
the land of the
technology.
BlackBerry.
That's it. We
Yeah.
we
I
went
had a
and got.
BlackBerry.
Sidekick.
Oh yes,
Sidekick. She was a sidekick.
I
That
had
was
a
my
sidekick.
favorite. It's
You
so
guys and your
funny.
fancy.
I like
Yep.
my sidekick.
That
I
was
love
my
that. Flip
favorite
that thing
phone.
out, right?
Yep.
I
That
remember
was the
my brother
best.
finally got an iPhone, like one of the trips he went to Japan, and he would send a text, and it would be like, "This text message costs $3.25." So like we'd be very careful about when we
Yeah.
would text.
Yeah.
That's
Like-
right, because he had it before you did.
Like we
when
would
you
do
were
it
out
like
there.
we landed. Like we would text, "We landed, we're okay," and like that would be the only text for the whole trip.
We're alive.
Yeah.
It was so
Yeah.
much because I mean we
Times
weren't
have
making
changed.
any money then.
Yeah.
Like it was, we were super frugal back then. But yeah, so in the
Well, we were
beginning
poor.
when Courtney, yes, we were.
That's totally fine.
When we only had Courtney, that I think was more so when you had.
Sorry.
The cleaner
Darn
over
it,
there.
Kenny.
I
Stop
punched the
talking.
cleaner, and he's talking back.
But that's when we had Courtney. I feel like that was
he's
when you
getting
did more. What are you doing?
We've got
He'll shut off. It's
wrestling
fine.
buddies getting.
Oh, Matt, you're messing
Brandon,
with the. Look at this. He's gonna like wreck this
Watch your
whole
head.
set.
You gotta-
You've got
My
swinging
turn to
frames.
sit down?
Yes.
Hair
This is
is
what I do.
great.
You can't take me anywhere. This is what I
Take
do.
me anywhere.
That's your job, right? You're used to
Oh
wrecking
goodness.
things.
But no, when we had Courtney, I feel like that's when your tours were really long.
Yeah.
And then Zach came along a few years later, and you were still traveling a lot, but it was
My-
more so domestically.
My schedule was crazy though. Like I would go to Japan for 21 days, right? And then I would come home for like 10 days. I'd go right back for 21 days all year.
Oh my goodness.
And even on those 10 days, the week or 10 days home, I would take bookings because I just needed to make as much money as I could.
Yeah.
And wrestling, you just don't. It's probably the same in it's the same entertainment business where it's like
You take
do-
it when you can.
you take it because maybe
Yeah.
it'll go away.
Yeah,
right.
this might be it.
Yes.
Like that's you
so
don't know.
I told her,
I
I'm
had
like,
the hardest time
I
understanding.
told
that.
her, I said, if my schedule's, if this is busy, it's good because I'm making money. As soon
Yeah.
as I'm not getting bookings, we're not making money.
It's
Right.
so hard with the kids though
is.
at home because
It
like
is.
I know like Amanda and I were supposed to do something on Valentine's Day. We were supposed to do something and we were gonna miss our kids. We were supposed to promote this show.
yeah, we were here doing interviews,
And we realized we had our kids' Valentine's Day parties that we hadn't heard about for some reason. The
we
school
both
didn't
get text, "Hey, the parties are at what?" And we're
tell.
like,
we got so we had to cancel some
Oh,
stuff we were
geez.
supposed to do. But like, I mean, that's just a small example. But
Right.
like, you don't want to miss anything, and
Yes.
it's so hard.
It's
and
hard.
That's why my husband was in music, and when we had our second son, he was on the road, and he was like, "I'm done. That is it. I don't want to miss a bath time. I don't want to miss a party. I don't want to miss a holiday. I don't want to miss anything." So now
tough.
he's the one that coaches all the basketball
Yep.
games, and he's the daddy. So which means that I have to leave a lot. I know that you were away a lot in the early days, but then you became like powerhouse businesswoman here with
created an empire.
We were pregnant with Zach. I was working at an apartment complex. I was one of the property managers. And when I was a month or two away, I think, from going on maternity leave, I found out my property was going to market. They were selling it. And they weren't sure that they were going to keep our company on. So I went on maternity leave, basically not knowing if I was going to have a job to come back to or not. And so after we had Zach, I took off as much time as I could, and I found out that there was no job for me to come back to at the end of my leave when I was ready to come back. And Matt was like, forget it. He's like, just stay home with the kids. Like, enjoy your time being a mom. And because that's what I've always wanted. That was like one of the
dream.
biggest things
Yeah.
for me. So I was like, okay, but that's great and all. I love our kids, but like, I need something that I can like do for myself and like
Yes.
keep busy. And so years before that, when Courtney was, I don't even think she was born yet, when we started working with Ryan and we started doing the t-shirts and stuff, right? And he would come home from a weekend away and he would have all these leftover shirts. I'm like, okay, we can't just have these sitting here. Like, I'm looking at it and I know we can make money off of it. Like, what can we do? So we started selling them online and we started up, I don't know if it was through Wix. It was like some basic like website builder. And we set up an e-commerce store and that started taking off. I was handwriting out all of the labels and taking them to the post office and signing in line and paying for postage and everything. I was like, okay, this is getting out of hand. Like, we got to figure out like a time saver. So then we started slowly upgrading things. I bought like a label printer at home, figured out how to do like labels at home myself and not have to go to the post office. And I found out that the post office would come pick stuff up from us. So just kind of grew it. And then I started going on the road with you too.
What was
and
crazy
helping
about
and-
even like during that time is nobody was really doing this in wrestling.
Right.
Nobody was selling T-shirts. Sometimes you go to a show and you would see some wrestlers. They would have a couple wrestlers would have a couple T-shirts on the table, but it was a rare thing
Yeah.
for some reason.
Because it's an investment.
Sure,
And-
and none of the wrestlers making a lot of money,
Right.
But like I always thought it was strange because like I would go to a punk rock concert or something, and
Everyone has
Tons of
everyone
merch.
has
Well,
shirts.
merch is a
Everybody
huge part of
right.
their
And this
income.
was time before selfies, really. So nobody really did the photo ops, you know. So when we did this, it was kind of like this weird revolutionary thing. The only one that was really doing it was this guy named Colt Cabana.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like, let's just copy what he's doing, and you know what I mean.
I
Like, he's
remember-
onto something.
I remember asking Matt, okay, like where does he
Yeah.
get his shirts done? Like what does he
Yeah.
do? And he's like, oh no, like you can't ask their secrets.
It was like a straight
that's
secret.
Oh.
You know?
you
Oh,
can't
it's
ask.
like
and
the
I'm
moves. You
like,
just
I'm like,
gotta
well,
learn
give
how to do
him
it.
right. I'm like, well, give me his information. Like I'll call and
I'll
ask.
ask.
Like I don't
Yeah.
care. Like we got to figure this out. So, anyways, we ended up getting in touch with Ryan, and now he's got pro wrestling tees.
Yeah,
and
pro wrestling tees came later, and that kind of changed everything for independent
was
wrestlers.
crazy.
Now you didn't have to just go to a wrestling show and sell T-shirts; you can do it at home. And you know, at the time, nobody really used social media the way we did. Like we
Well,
were the first
and you
wrestlers to
guys
do that too.
We're grassroots from the beginning. I mean, your fan base was all independent anyway.
Yes.
You built it on your own. So you kind of built this business with that.
Yep.
And we
It
were
was
honest with our
literally
fans.
yeah.
We told them, hey, this is, you know, my wife is running the shop.
We
We're
even
doing it
had
out of our apartment.
we had something on our website that said proudly owned and run by
Yeah.
the Young Bucks families.
Support
or
our
something
families.
like
And there's a
that.
picture of our families.
Like, here's our kitchen table.
Yes.
Literally
Bingo,
our dining
yes,
room. Literally,
yes.
like we had like a built-in buffet area, and that was like my stock room. Like I had shirts piled like up to the
Yeah.
ceiling.
Yeah.
Like my desk was our dining table, and like that was also our shipping department. Like
And
he
we
would
would-
come home from the road, and I would
Yeah,
have him up until like 2
right.
o'clock in the
I was
morning helping me
exhausted.
pack
She's like,
orders.
fold these shirts. I'm like, I'm dying right now.
Ooh,
But it
are
was
you good
fun,
at
though.
folding?
No.
Not even okay. Well, there you go. I was gonna say maybe
All right,
okay.
well, follow the app.
He's
Fold-
okay.
The Folding
He's okay
Lady,
with
my
folding.
New favorite
He
app.
just-
or my
he
new favorite
folds-
Instagram page.
Yeah.
Is the Folding Lady.
She knows
He's
how to do
okay,
it,
but
yeah.
he folds like a different
A
way that
guy.
I've never
Yeah.
seen before. I don't know. But
No, my husband doesn't like
anyways.
the way I fold. He folds very carefully, and I'm like,
Does
nah.
it fit in the? I roll.
I
everything now.
just kind of like throw my fingers, like I throw the sleeves back, and then I kind of just throw it on the bed in half.
Oh, when it's my
Yeah.
own clothes, I just shove it in the thing. Yeah.
I sit there and like I try and match his socks and like fold his underwear, and he's like, "Oh, you don't need to do that." He's like, "Here,
toss
I'll-"
it in.
he
Shove
just
it in
goes
there.
and shoves it.
That's
I
nice.
remember many endless nights where we were up, you know, packaging and doing all this stuff. It was fun because it's like, wow, we're doing this together. We were a team. Like, we
Yeah.
were working together. And I think the fans were like, they saw that they were supporting our
For
families,
sure.
so they wanted to support us.
Yeah.
So it became this big thing, and it became an empire. And it was like we don't have room here anymore.
It
Like,
literally
How many
became a
styles
full-time
did you
job.
start with? Like how many different?
We only
designs?
had
Yeah,
a couple of
just a
different
couple at first.
shirts.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't think we ever had more than like 2 or 3 at a time.
And do you still carry those originals?
I have a few of them.
Some of them
Yeah.
are on,
Maybe
I
it's time
think,
to
pro
bring 'em
wrestling
back.
tees, but
Yeah,
well,
that's
some of
true.
them can stay in the past. too.
Some of them are
We
great.
had-
Like,
Well, we started with leggings too. We
Yeah.
had like 3 or 4 different types of leggings, and we matched their gear because their
Yeah.
gear, I'm
Yeah.
sure you've seen,
It's
is like
wild.
outrageous.
there's one of them right
we
there.
call them party
Yeah, yeah,
pants.
Yeah. Yes, party
our
pants.
house.
Yes, definitely.
That was kind of
So-
tamed too. That version.
What is that?
Yeah.
What are these bell
Those
bottoms?
those are tassels. Yeah, and
It
they're
is
kind of
tassels,
like
like
total
bell
bell-bottom
bottoms.
style.
Those are
Yep.
the party pants.
Yep.
party
Pants, totally.
Yes.
Yes.
Our look has since
Party
changed a
pants.
little bit. It's a little.
Yeah.
It might even be more wild now, to be honest. But
My son,
Yeah, that's right.
huge fan.
Yeah.
Huge fan. In fact, may or may not have skipped school to be able to hang out with you guys in a little bit.
Okay.
But no, since he was little bitty and he had the full gear that actually Brandon,
it.
their friend Brandon, who's here,
Yeah.
y'all can't see him, but his wife made it for him.
Yeah.
And it is the cutest thing you've ever seen.
That's
Very
it.
cool.
We got
Party pants are a
we
big
got a
deal.
set of gear made for Zach. We were supposed to be down in, I think it was San Diego, somewhere in Southern California, right before his birthday.
Oh yes.
In 2020, and then of course COVID hit and everything got shut down, so
never
we
got
didn't
to
get to
wear it
do all of it. But he wears it around the house now. I think
How
he's
many
actually
s-
kind of growing out of it. But
How many styles do you have now? Like how many different?
oh my
hundreds.
gosh,
Yeah?
hundreds. It's
Like
insane.
at one point, we were telling Brandon, who's sitting back here, his wife, like, if you made us gear every week, we would buy it and wear it. Like,
Yeah.
so we like, I have a
he has
storage.
something new every week.
Yeah, every week, and we tried it. We're not wrestling as much as we used to, but at one point, we were pumping them out at least a couple times a month.
So whenever
Wow.
people turn on our podcast, then they can go to your website, which is.
ShopAEW.com.
Yeah, that's where all of our stuff is. Like this.
So while you're listening to the
Yeah.
podcast, you need to go on every week
Yes,
and buy a new item.
all kinds of stuff.
That's
but-
so cool.
yeah.
So let's talk about what you're into.
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah. So we
gosh.
know that you binge shoes,
Oh
Yes.
sneakers, but what else? What are you binging? Like, let's start with
Right.
TV shows.
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone's what we're into right
We're
now.
almost done. We have, I think, the finale of season 1 to finish.
Oh, you're only in season
we
one.
just started.
We just
Oh, you're
started.
babies.
Yes,
So
we just started.
spoilers.
no, I can't even give that many spoilers because here's the deal. season 4 has evaded me. Like I started with episode 1. It was there, but we were watching commercials. And my husband's like, I'm not doing this. What is this? What is this commercial crap? Like we pay for Paramount Plus, Paramount Network, Peacock, all these things that we're supposed to be able to watch it on. But because it's the new season, you can't find it. We literally spent one night Googling, like, where do you watch season 4? And because we don't have a television provider, we can't find it because we didn't hit record on our YouTube TV right at the moment when it came on. So we can't find season 4. We watched the first one and then we went on to 1883. We were like, we can't. Did you do 1883?
Not yet.
I've heard of that one too.
I'm trying to get through Yellowstone, I think, first, at least get up like to the current season, and then I have 1883.
We're watching Euphoria right now.
Oh
too.
my gosh.
Oh,
that's good.
wild.
Yes.
I know that's super controversial.
Don't you?
But
I'm praying. I don't have a teenager, obviously. Yet,
I do.
But I'm praying that is so far from real life. And
I know.
It's
That's
terrifying.
Honestly, like watching it, it's like, okay, I know that my teenage years were nothing like that. Like, I really hope that that's not what we're.
I hope not.
I'm still in the innocent
I don't know.
teenage years. I got an almost 14-year-old and a 16-year-old who's driving.
Oh my gosh.
What was the meme I sent you about Euphoria? It was like me in high school, and it was like when you had those mechanical pencils and you pretend like you're shooting up heroin.
yeah.
And then they're in like,
And they're just like they're snorting coke off the bathroom.
it's
like,
awful. And are you Team Cassie?
Well,
No. Because Matt has a huge crush on her.
Okay, let's be honest. Sydney Sweeney is like the prettiest
She
woman
is.
on the planet.
She is.
So it's forgivable.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm really on a team, honestly, between either one of them. Yeah. I don't know. I always avoided that drama when I was in high school. And
Is it? Wait, so I haven't watched it yet. I
Okay,
know,
so
like,
there's
slap me
this
on the
girl,
wrist, but-
Cassie, and what's the other girl's name?
Maddie.
Maddie.
okay, yeah, that's it.
And so Cassie likes this dude, but the dude kind of likes Maddie more. And it
Maddie and
goes back forth.
Cassie,
triangle.
Maddie and Cassie are best friends,
friends.
and Maddie is dating or was dating. They were broken up.
Nate.
Yes.
And Cassie and Nate hooked up. Well, Maddie and Nate were broken up. Maddie finds out that Cassie and him got together, and
War breaks out.
Yeah, it's
Chaos
like
ensues.
civil
And
war
where,
now
where's
between
the
the two
drugs?
of them.
Where is this taking
Oh, there's
place?
just drugs everywhere. There's a whole lot of
Is
nakedness.
this like LA? Is this New York?
It's LA.
It's
Yeah,
LA.
it's
It's
mostly
LA.
LA. Yeah,
There, like a lot of like that one episode, I was like, I recognize this street they're on right now.
Yeah.
yeah. It looked like
Zendaya was running around. Remember?
yeah, it looked
And they
like
wear no clothes to high school. Like none.
Yeah.
Like
And that's I mean, my sisters went to Malibu High, and
Is that real life
My
there?
husband was always like, "Why are they naked
Yeah.
all the time? They're like in bikinis, like running around." Yeah.
No, see, in the South, no. If your skirt doesn't come down, like it was like a 3-inch rule, and there were no spaghetti straps.
But
and there
that was
no
you're talking
midriff.
about the '80s here, girl.
Yeah.
Oh,
Times have
wow.
changed.
Nowadays, are you kidding? Have you seen what these little babies wear to homecoming
even
and prom?
even like in the women's
P.S. I was
department.
born in the 80s, not in
don't-
high school.
Unless you're at Target. In Target, they have the Amish dresses are in right now.
Our
and
Target, I went and picked up something. We were walking through.
Yeah.
Zach was with us. I went and I was like, "Oh, this is a cute shirt." I pulled it up and it's like a crop
Oh,
top.
yeah.
I'm
yeah.
like,
Nothing
Crop
has
tops,
to
those
be-
are
put it in,
huge.
have to
in my
buy,
end. Like, what?
The biggest
Yeah,
size
yeah.
they have, it just so it like comes
It drives
down
me
to the
crazy.
waistband.
I'm like,
She
I
makes
don't
me
know.
go to Target every day.
I love
insane.
Target.
It's insane.
It's an addiction.
Sponsor
Why do you
us.
guys have to go
It's
every
an
day
addiction.
though?
I don't. When I go, I
For
literally went the other day and I
sanity.
had 4 things in mind. I needed khakis, I needed face lotion, I needed toothpaste, and I needed those vacuum
and all
seal
of that
bags.
costed like $200 or cost.
Oh my gosh,
$200
because that
cost
wasn't
it.
all I
I'm like,
did.
our kids.
Because then you come home with the basket full.
Oh, it was all
Right.
the impulse shopping, and I think I spent $600, and I walked out because I hadn't been in weeks.
and I tried to
And I
get
was
her
like,
to go to the
oh, and I need
bookstore
this. And
instead.
yeah, she was like, come to the bookstore. I'm like, no, I have to go to Target. I have to get.
Well,
I really was
see-
there for hangers. I didn't even get them.
I feel like I've gotten better, and he will not give me the credit
No, I
because
won't.
I still am there every day, but I do drive up. So
Oh,
it's easier.
that's
I
smart.
don't go into the
Self-control.
You get
store.
what you
I'm
need
getting
and
what
you
I
get out,
need, and
yeah.
it's very rare that I get excessive.
But when we're shopping, it's an hour. It's grueling. Like I'm more sore after a
What
Target
did-
trip than a
he,
restaurant.
my
Back's killing me.
my
feet.
Valentine's card, he put, what did you call it? Target Kidnaps?
Yeah, it was like I love you, even though we do Target kidnaps every day. Or
It's
whatever.
so funny.
That's cute.
So I always
that you
ask
guys
him, I'm
go
like, are you
together.
caffeinated enough for a Target run? And he's just
Do you
like,
stop?
oh
But there's a
my
Starbucks
God.
in every Target, so you
Yeah.
don't have to be
Right.
caffeinated.
Yeah.
before
It's
you get
never as
caffeinated
good
while
though.
You're there.
Starbucks,
never as good.
Target's never as
It's
good.
judgmental
not.
over
Yeah.
the Starbucks.
It's not. It's kind of watered down.
Our
like,
Starbucks
Or
and our
burnt.
Target is
Or
not very
burnt.
good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Old coffee,
interesting.
stale.
We avoid it if we can.
So, our podcast, even though it is a podcast, it's on YouTube, but I know you guys have a super, super successful. Maybe you can give us some tips on how to make our
Yes.
YouTube
Oh,
page a little
geez.
more successful.
Teach us.
I know nothing about YouTube. I just
You just make the content.
I just make the content. I don't know. Great question. Like we started this thing called Being the Elite on YouTube, and somehow it just took off. I think it was because we just let people like kind of know about who we were personally, and we let them in because usually we're these crazy over the top characters that you don't really know much about. You just see us in these flashy gear and you see us wrestle.
Right.
So we actually took them behind the scenes, behind the curtain, and taught them about who we were as people. And people, it just caught on, and it developed this big audience. I don't know why.
Well, the wrestling fans are
Because it's fun.
amazing. Like, I mean,
Oh, they are.
I know that like I started twittering. I always get yelled at by my kids about saying the right one. I started tweeting about wrestling and about like WWE stuff and to people and following people and whatnot, and the amount of like stuff coming back at me, the amount of followers I got because
Yeah.
I was talking about it, or
It's huge on
it's a
Twitter.
loyal
yeah,
audience.
It is a
Yeah.
very loyal
Very, very
audience,
loyal.
and it's amazing. And I've taken my kids, like I said before, to like SummerSlam and stuff. And what did they go to with your family recently?
SmackDown.
Oh, they went to SmackDown. But it's such a family friendly,
Yeah.
fun thing, and I've been just like I've loved it since I was little. I remember like babysitting for people and it was on and just like watching it and getting really emotional about it too, being like, oh my gosh, is he
That's
getting
funny.
hurt? Are they
Well,
getting
I
the
didn't
stories.
realize that until I saw you followed us on Twitter like a couple of years ago. I was like, holy crap, Nick! Sabrina the Teenage Witch followed us on Twitter. We just popped huge for that. We're like, holy crap! I didn't know she was in wrestling.
Oh, that's
you know?
funny. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, it's just such a, and the fan base, like I feel like I always talk about like my fan base is like really loyal and really sweet and really kind. I feel
They're
like yours,
similar.
even though you're heels, is it still?
Oh no, wrestling has the most toxic fan base in the world. They're the worst. Like, honestly, like there's a lot of good fans.
Super loyal.
The ones
They
that
are
love
loyal
you,
to
the
the
ones that
cause.
love you, but the ones that hate you, they hate you.
They
So
love
wait,
to hate.
So how did
Yeah.
you? So to turn heel, how does this happen? Or did you want it? Did you choose it? How
Yeah.
does that work?
We chose it because we just felt like what we were doing. We were just kind of tired of it. We wanted to do something different and new. We've been wrestling quite a while, so like we'd been heels before, and
Okay.
we've done in my opinion, I feel like we've done our best work as bad guys.
Yeah.
So
you guys
it-
are definitely
I feel
better
the
as
same way about
heels.
my
Yeah.
acting. I feel like I
It's,
love to play a bad
It's
girl.
the same thing, right? Like you just maybe I don't know what it is. Like
Easier storyline.
But
You know
it's
what it-
funny bad. It's not
is.
like
Right.
mean spirited. It's
Right.
it's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
For me, though, as a character, it's easier to get people to not like me than to get people to like you. Because as soon as you walk into a room, everybody just wants to hate that guy. Like even if you're just at a restaurant, some guy just walked in, you're like, I want to hate that guy. Like getting someone to like you is a lot harder.
Did you
Like
ever
people are
see the movie
cynical.
Megamind. This is reminding me of Megamind.
Oh yeah.
That's like one of my
It's pretty-
favorite all-time
Yeah.
movies.
Yep.
It's pretty easy to get somebody to hate you when you're wearing $6,000 sneakers.
Bingo.
There,
Exactly.
there you go.
And
There
wrestling
you
fans
go.
are kind of cynical. Like they just kind of want to watch and hate watch a lot. Like
Mm-hmm.
especially now on Twitter. Maybe back then when you were on it, it was a little more fun. Now it's kind of become like Twitter's just kind of a toxic place in general.
Yeah, I
You know what I
actually
mean?
I'm
had
not
to.
for it.
I've had to
Yeah.
I post on there a lot, but it's really hard for me to read anything because I follow so many people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gotten like saturation of like scrolling through. I'm like I can't even keep up
Right.
with how much stuff pops in.
That's why you just post and ghost.
yeah.
You just post and you do the little swipe up and it's gone.
I don't even do that anymore. I'm
Oh,
just no.
is that what you do?
Delete it and never look back. It's
Good.
not real life. It's so easy to get
terrible.
sucked into.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
toxic
Instagram because it's
environment.
like people are nicer because
Instagram
there's
is so much
photos. It's a little bit
Yes.
more personal, and
You're right.
people are a little bit nicer. So.
I agree. I like Instagram a lot more.
Yeah, although I do
Yeah.
get really mad when people like a picture of my comb more than a picture of my child. Because I'm
Sure.
like, my kid is really cute and this comb is boring, but you guys like it a lot more, and I'm a little pissed right now. But Amanda, you know that I would like drop anything to help you, right?
Of course.
And most people would drop anything to go help someone you care about, right?
Absolutely.
We'll go out of our way to treat other people well, but how often do we give ourselves this same treatment?
Like never.
Yeah. So this month, BetterHelp Online Therapy wants to remind you that you matter just as much as everyone else does. And therapy is a great way to make sure you show up for yourself.
Yes, and BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to.
Yeah, it's much more affordable than in-person therapy. You can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours.
So give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp online therapy.
Yeah, this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. That's H-E-L-P, help. And What Women Binge listeners are going to get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/WWB.
That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/WWB.
Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring What Women Binge. Do you know what one of my favorite foods is, Amanda?
I can guess.
Can you guess?
I bet it's cereal.
It is, because you know why? It's so simple.
It makes it so easy.
It's so easy. Like you pour it in a bowl, you get a spoon, and like you add some milk, and you're like done.
I could go for some cereal right
I
now.
could so go for some cereal right now. You know what cereal I love though? Because cereal has a lot of sugar and carbs, and I can't eat that stuff anymore.
I know, me neither.
But you know what I like?
Magic Spoon.
Magic Spoon. How did you know?
I know because we both love Magic
We
Spoon
do.
so much. It's 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving.
Only 140 calories a serving, and it's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and low carb.
Yep, and it comes in so many flavors. The variety pack comes with 4 cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter.
Yeah, peanut
Mix
butter.
them all together.
I think I'm going to go have a bowl.
I know. I'm so
Mix it with
hungry.
my oat milk, and I'm going to have a little bowl. We want you to go have a bowl, too. So you can go to magicspoon.com/WWB to grab a variety pack and try it today. But be sure to use our promo code WWB at checkout to save $5 off your first order.
And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product that it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll give you your money back, no questions asked.
Yeah, so remember, to get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal, go to magicspoon.com/WWB and use the code WWB to save $5 off.
Thanks, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring What Lemon Binge.
Wait, did the YouTube channel spawn into AEW? Is that what?
Yeah.
It definitely led to it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So the YouTube channel started, what year was that? 2000?
I'd have to look up our Wikipedia. Like, was it 2016?
2019, the AEW?
That's when we announced AEW.
Okay.
We had Being the Elite, I think it was like 2016.
I think it was 2016 or 2017.
Okay.
And that it literally was just a vlog of you guys traveling, and just like he kind of said before, like just kind of giving the fans an insight to what a travel day was like for them and all of the grueling schedule and everything that they had to live. And it took off.
It just created like a wave of like a movement almost. And we just isolated this giant fan base who came to wrestling shows. And I'm not kidding you, it was like 90% our t-shirts.
Yeah.
Or Bullet Club t-shirts. So that was a group we were in Japan.
I saw it happen.
It was insanity. I've never experienced anything like it. It was lightning in a bottle. Like, I don't even know how to describe it.
I think
Yeah,
for
it
me,
felt like that. In wrestling, like a smaller
Yeah.
version of the Beatles or, go
I
ahead.
think the part for me that it finally clicked and I realized like how big this was when Hot Topic picked up the shirts and they started selling them. I'm
That
like,
was a huge
I used
deal.
to shop in the store when I was, I mean, not really a kid because back then it was very like gothic and like
Yeah.
you had to be very dark to
Plaid
go and
and
shop in there.
chain.
That was
Yeah.
my
But,
dream. That was my dream.
The fact that it was in Hot Topic and you could literally walk into any of their stores and find their shirts, it was like, what in the world? Like, this is
Logan and
cool.
Riker used to
Crazy.
hit it before every show, and most of the time they were sold out.
Yeah.
They were so popular.
Yep,
Oh, wow.
exactly.
It was just it was wild. So like eventually we just cultivated this movement, this giant like wave, and it got enough momentum and energy and to get this billionaire's attention. It's this billionaire named Tony Khan. I think it all kind of worked out too because we ran this show called All In an arena in Chicago. It was called the Sears Center at the time, and we sold it out in 30 minutes. It was over 10,000 seats, and nobody had done that in years. Wow. So when we did that, I was already talking to this Tony Khan guy. I think when we did that might have like solidified to him, like, yeah, we really should do something with this. Like, there's a market for this. Right. So we did this show and it was super successful. And a couple months later, we pretty much solidified the deal with Tony to start All Elite Wrestling. And we announced All Elite Wrestling on our show on Being the Elite. It was New Year's Eve, 2019, we said, right? And we announced, hey, this new thing's coming, and people were excited. They just wanted change. They wanted an alternative. They wanted something. And we were, in many ways, we were the disruptors because we were these guys who had never been to WWE, and there was no reason why we should be as popular as we were. And we were selling these, 10,000 seats and stuff like that. So people were like, what is this? It got the attention of a lot of people.
Yeah.
And
then somehow you were able to drag Paul White over, huh?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we ended up getting Paul White, the Big Show, who actually squashed me in a WWE match years ago.
Yeah, right before our wedding, I think.
Right
too,
before
right?
our wedding, yeah.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like
I'm
literally
sure
like
that's
the
great for wedding
I do not
photos.
want to be under that guy.
I remember she told me, she's like, do not get a black eye, do not get chop marks. So like, I don't want to see anything. I'm like, okay.
Like, don't forget, our wedding is in a couple of
And then I
days.
show
we have
up.
pictures that are going to live forever.
I didn't know what I was doing. I show them, they're like, you're wrestling the Big Show tonight. He's choke slamming you through a table. I was like, oh, great. Yeah.
Wait, what? Oh, how have I missed this? I gotta
Yeah.
go watch that.
Oh, it's
my
brutal.
I'm sure it
gosh.
lives on the
That's
internet.
amazing.
Oh, yeah,
He's
it's
I
definitely
mean,
on
I worked
YouTube
with
somewhere.
him on his show, Big Show on
Yeah.
Netflix. I directed him on that, and he's a nicest guy.
Yeah.
But he's a giant.
It's huge.
I mean,
I remember meeting him. Like, I had talked to him a few times and then meeting him backstage. I think we were in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And I went to shake his hand and I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is huge. You talk about feeling short.
Oh
like,
my
to
gosh.
somebody.
I can't
Oh
wait
my
for that
gosh.
moment.
It's amazing. It's
I feel like
amazing.
I'm the giant. I'm a solid foot taller than
She's
Melissa.
a foot taller than me.
Oh, he'll make
So-
anybody feel
Yeah.
small.
I'm, I'm very excited about the potential of
if
meeting him.
we have him on the show. I don't know how he's gonna sit in these chairs, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. You have to do some
Might have
rearranging.
to put some chairs together or stand and do the interview.
He's
so
a
now
sweetheart.
you guys have AEW and you guys are working together. You're the business mastermind around here, keeping merchandising and marketing all going.
Yep. for the
Still
most
doing.
part. Yeah.
I mean,
It's crazy.
And how do you balance it out with the kids? Like, is there a trick that you...
I thankfully both my kids are in school all day. So basically I go drop them off and I come home and I'm in my office
All day?
Like he hates it because he'll be home on Mondays and he's like, I haven't even seen you all day. I'm like, I'm here. He's like, yeah, but you're back in the office in your cave, like working and stuff.
So wait, where do you guys live now, though?
We're in Southern California.
Oh, okay. And so then, so like you're in town right now for the show, and then you're gonna, so like you came with him. Do you go on tour with him often, or
Not very
is it...
often. I literally flew in just
Before the
just
pandemic.
you
You
girls this week. No, before the pandemic, I was there a few
You
times.
were there a lot, yeah.
And then once the pandemic hit, that was hard because my kids were on
Right, out of
Zoom
school,
for
yeah.
school, and I literally my parents help a lot with watching them,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to put that on them. It's like we don't. Everything changes.
it's so much.
and
That virtual
so
schooling
hard.
is the worst.
It was the worst. That's when I realized I am not meant to be a teacher.
Our son was in
hard.
God bless
kindergarten
them.
last year, so I had to do all of kindergarten with him, and oh my gosh!
While doing
but
this.
yes,
Yeah.
it's been crazy.
much.
But thankfully, being able to work from home. The other challenge too is that most of the people that we work with are on the East Coast. So by the time I wake up,
You got
most of the
an
day is already
inbox
gone.
full.
already.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And your job is
So,
mostly mobile, so you don't really have to be.
Yeah, I don't
you know.
actually
Maybe
have
you
to be
guys should
here.
move
I've
to
got a
Nashville,
great
then you'll
team.
be a little
I
closer
mean,
to
I
these
may or
guys.
may
She's
not
talking
have
about
said
it.
that
I've told him.
yesterday.
Everyone from California is moving to Nashville. Come on,
It's a great place to be, guys.
It's funny because I follow
Real
a
estate's
few different
insane,
accounts
but-
on Instagram that are like homesteaders and are all into the farm life and stuff. I'm like, I could totally see us doing that at some point. We need to move to.
She's like, we need to get a
somewhere.
ranch. I'm like, we could barely take care of our dog. You want to get an animal?
we were going to do the same thing, and then
Yeah.
we found this great house that was not on a farm, and we were like, oh, my husband's like, oh, no bees, no chickens, sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I don't really have time for bees.
Yeah, a lot
I
of
don't.
work.
I don't think we would do animals, but we both always just kind of fantasize and dream about living in the middle of nowhere with no
Yeah.
neighbors
Yeah.
and just completely
But having
unplugging
to
and
drive very, very far to Costco for
Yeah.
your,
It's all right.
you know.
But it's tough for me because I fly East Coast every week. So I leave
yeah.
Tuesday,
So much easier
have
from
to
here.
Wednesday rest,
Yeah.
to fly home Thursday every
Oh,
week.
it's so much easier because I'm from New York, and it is. I mean, we used to when we were looking for a house down here, we could jump on a plane and go back that night. Like we'd come down for the day. It's so easy.
That'd be a
Well,
game
it's like
changer.
us. We left our house at 10 in the morning yesterday, and we didn't land until 10 last night local time.
It's a
So
full
it's
day.
like literally a
Tuesday's a
full
wash,
day.
and Thursday too.
and
I mean,
never really direct flights unless you're going to Texas.
we fly out of Ontario, California, so it's not LAX.
Oh yeah.
So because LAX would be like 3 hours from for us,
At
right?
least.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Ontario actually is where I used to fly in there. They used to have JetBlue. Do they still have JetBlue?
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
JetBlue
yeah.
actually just came back. They were
Oh,
gone for a
good.
while. They
Okay.
just came back within, I think, the last year
Well, that's
or two.
helpful.
I flew out of LAX for about a decade,
Oh, nightmare.
so I would drive 2 hours. At the time,
But
we
that
lived about
was-
2
I
I
hours
hope you
away.
have clear
That was-
and TSA pre-check.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
please.
I
We've
just
got both.
got.
He doesn't like clear. I
It
don't
never works on
understand
my
it.
hands or my eyes. Like, why do I even
So,
waste my
okay,
time?
It
The-
doesn't?
It's,
Never.
It's touchless now.
Never.
I think
Yeah,
because
but
of
the eyes
COVID.
don't
The
work.
eyes.
But I think
You gotta open 'em
because
big.
I
think-
can't.
I don't know. So he had the laser surgery done. So I wonder if that messed with it.
Oh.
Maybe.
And now you can't
Because
do the
we
touch.
had
you just
clear
have to tell them you were going to do the
beforehand.
touch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you just have to
there you
clean
go.
it.
Yeah.
So I have a
Maybe.
question for
Sorry,
you guys
get
now.
off track.
So on the rare occasion that you're together and you actually get to watch television together, so you said Yellowstone, but like, what's your thing?
Yeah, like, can you guys always agree? Like, does
It's
it
always changing.
No.
does it take a while
He
to
loves
find your show?
documentaries and like certain.
I watched the Nickelodeon documentary the other day, and
You
I
did?
went and I saw you
The
on there.
Orange, what was it called? The Orange Years.
Orange Years. It
Yeah.
was good. Didn't you watch it with me?
I think I watched it with you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Watch that
Certain
together.
things we'll sit down and we'll watch together. Like
Yeah.
I'll hear that he's watching something like, oh, that sounds interesting, and I'll come in and watch. But
Yeah.
we were just talking about this last night. Like there are certain shows that we'll start watching, and I'm like, okay, so is this one that I can watch while
When
you're
you're
gone?
not here? Yeah.
And
We
he's
have to
like,
have those
Are you
talks
giving up
too.
on the
yeah,
show,
I'm,
sweetie?
I'm checked out. Like he checks out on so many.
I
different
try
shows.
not
I have
to.
to ask you guys,
It's
did you guys
crazy.
do White Lotus?
Yes.
Yes.
My husband and
It
I
was
don't really
the
aren't digging
craziest.
it.
I liked it.
That's
it
why
was
you like
very
Cassie.
Weird.
Oh yeah, she was on that too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
don't-
my
it's
husband is
very
really not
weird.
going to watch another episode. I would give it another shot,
You've
but
got
I'm
to
It gets
get
better.
past the first
Does
one.
it? The
Oh, you
first
only
one-
watch one?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
you
thought
gotta
it was
watch
gonna
it
be really
together.
funny, and we were
Gotta
kind of
keep
like, I don't get it.
Watch a
Just
couple
keep
more.
going.
It's
Watch a
very
couple
it's
more.
weird. There are some very uncomfortable like
Very.
scenes in
Yeah.
it, but
I'm okay
it's
with
very
that.
well done.
I
You
like
can
things
handle
like,
it.
you know,
I'm the one who
I
can't
like
handle
Game
the
of
dark
Thrones. No,
stuff.
she can't watch
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, Handmaid's
I
Tale.
tried getting
Handmaid's
into
Tale's
Game.
great.
Yeah, Handmaid's Tale is
Handmaid's is
amazing.
That's one that we agree on.
I have seen
We
a
agree on
couple of
that.
Really,
episodes.
my husband won't watch Handmaids.
I've
You got
watched-
me into it. I was like, what is this weird show with the like
I think
what
that's
is
the
this?
problem. My husband saw the second episode, part of the second episode. He's like, "What's going on?" I was
Yeah.
like, well, here's the thing. In the Bible, there's Sarah, right? And then I was like, and he was like, no, I'm out. I was like, all right, so
You
that's
gotta
the one I do by
invest in
myself.
that. 'Cause
Yeah,
there's a
you
whole
do.
language to it. And
Yeah.
praise be.
That's
you know,
not.
like, what are they
that's
talking
definitely
about?
one where like you have to
Blessed
be
be the
100% paying
fruit.
attention. You can't
open.
like have it on in the background and
Yeah.
kind of watch
You
it.
have
Like
to
you
watch
have
it.
to
have
be
to pay
watching
attention.
it. Yeah.
And it's one of the ones that I know a show is good if I stay awake for it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like I know it's good if I stay awake, and I don't like get drowsy in the middle of it or go, oh, I'll finish it tomorrow or something like
Right.
that
Yeah.
one. But what else? What do you guys?
I just binged Ozark
yeah.
in one day flying.
What?
Because they season
Where were
4.
you flying to?
I mean, my travel days are like 12 hours usually.
I feel like lately you guys are flying out
Dubai.
to like
Yeah.
New York like every
Yeah.
week. It seems like right now.
Usually we'll go. So if I'm flying American, we'll go to Dallas, and then it's like another 4 hours after that to wherever we're going to the East Coast, or
goodness.
or it's Atlanta, which is like 4 hours from Ontario, and then another 2 hours from there. You know, so it's a long day, and then we have layovers too. So it's a 12-hour.
So the next
travel day.
thing that AEW needs is a charter company.
yeah.
Wheels Up should
just for
become
the
one of your
West Coast.
sponsors.
Yeah, just for the West
Got
Coast.
to fly on
guys.
the private jet a couple of times. That was cool.
Ooh.
That was a lot of fun. Our kids
my
actually
dream.
got to do that with us too. We flying back from Japan when we announced.
Oh, you
AEW.
came back from Japan?
We were in
Nice.
Japan. We had to cut our
I took them to
family
Japan
trip.
4 times, right?
Yeah, the first time I was pregnant was Zach. Courtney was 3, I think, the first time we went. That was always so much fun. But yeah, we flew from Tokyo to Chicago, and then Tony flew with us on his private jet down to Florida for, what was it, the press conference?
Press conference.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that, talk about a whirlwind of a travel day.
My brother's kids were on the
And with
jet,
2
and as
kids.
soon as we took off, like one of them started throwing up everywhere.
Oh, of course.
It's the first time we met our new boss, Tony, and he's just puking all over his jet.
Right,
Yeah.
that's what those are the stories
Way to make
that
an
we'll never
impression.
forget.
You know what?
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all worked out.
I watched Ozark season 4, the first half of it. It's so good. That's probably the
I
best
haven't
show I've
seen
seen.
it yet.
It's
I've heard
unbelievable.
that I need to watch it, but it's really dark too, right?
Yes.
You know, there's some of
Yeah.
these shows that my
Okay.
husband and I, like I said, if he doesn't watch it, I can't really watch it
I
unless
need daytime TV that I need time for it.
I'm gonna be away for a little while. So I'm making a list of all the things I have to finish. Like Only Murders in the Building. Do you guys watch that one?
we
We
started
started it.
Yeah.
And
we
I-
forgot about it.
I
No,
don't think
need
we
you to
forgot about
remember.
it.
Okay.
I need you to remember.
We
I know-
watched 2
I feel
episodes.
Like, I
and
feel
then-
like that was one that we kind of couldn't get into. I don't know.
I could see it. I could see it. I
know.
liked
So
it, but
good.
Which is surprising because I love Steve Martin and Martin Short
Yeah.
both. Like, but
each
I don't
episode
know.
almost feels
Maybe we
like
need to try
I
it
felt like
again.
that with Breaking Bad. I don't know if this is
Oh my
how
God.
you feel, but like
that's my favorite show of all time.
But with each one, I felt like that it encapsulated, like it was almost like a mini movie, and I
Yeah.
was good. And I didn't necessarily like Only Murders in the Building. I think the first 4, I was like, what happens, and then I was kind of like, okay, I'm good. Like I have an idea of what might be happening.
Oh no, you don't know. You
Yeah.
don't know.
no.
You don't know.
All right, I gotta go finish. I think I only have like 2 episodes
maybe we
left.
need to give it another
Maybe,
try.
yeah.
I don't know.
Breaking Bad's my favorite show ever, though. You mentioned
It's a
Breaking
great
Bad.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one I binged. Like,
That's one of those
quickly.
that I watched and I probably should have never watched because still to this day I will have like flashes of it pop up
Give
like
nightmares.
Yeah.
like out of nowhere. I'll just randomly.
Well, I just remember. I mean, I only watched a few episodes of it, and I loved it. But I literally felt like I think I watched 3 or 4, and each time I was like, okay, I'm good. Like I got the story, and I know there's more, but it never drew me to the next one. It didn't make it. It didn't seem not binge worthy, but like they didn't do the Netflix thing where it's like they immediately have to leave you with that cliffhanger where
Yes.
you have to
Right.
watch the
Did
next
you
one.
did you guys
immediately.
watch You?
oh no, I can't do it.
Oh, it's
I-
unbelievable.
I watched
Oh,
the first 2 seasons.
I love
and
the stories. I have what
Yeah.
my cousin
You
who's
guys watch a lot, but you're traveling a lot.
she
like you
fills
said.
me in on everything. People will tell me the stories because if I watch them, they stick. But I
can't-
want to know.
She can't even watch like Beauty and the Beast because the
It's
Beast
a lot
scares
of
her.
conflict, guys.
I get
You's
anxiety
great.
really
She's a
bad.
sunshine
Oh,
girl.
she had to quit
I had to
You
stop
the last
this
season. You
Yeah.
quit.
I had
Okay,
to
so
stop.
you
That's
relate.
right.
It just sticks with me. I will have nightmares, or I will get genuinely like
I literally,
invested in
I
the
get
characters.
like
Yeah.
heart palpitations when
Yes.
we're watching
Yeah,
it. And
she's like, my
I
anxiety's
can't-
too bad.
I'm like, I'm done. I can't. I'm sorry. You.
So I
have to
finished
do
that one
this
on the
alone
road.
your
Yeah.
own. But
I
got
like
like
it.
that with that movie. Don't Look Up. I got
Yes.
You
that
did feel that.
anxiety.
Oh my
She called me.
gosh,
She was
I
like,
did too.
I'm
I
not
can't
sure
stop
if you
shaking.
should watch it. And I was like,
it
That
was
was
so
good.
good.
I loved it, though.
I had to force myself, I think, to kind of finish it because I wanted
Yeah.
to tap out like halfway through it. I'm
Weird,
like,
it wasn't scary or anything, but it reminded me
No.
of like all the other, Deep Impact and like
Yeah.
all the ones that are like about the end of the world where you're like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? Is everybody gonna die?
Okay, so I have a question. Did anxiety get worse for you watching these things after you had kids, or was it like this for you before?
Oh no, yeah. Before kids, I could watch horror. I
too.
kind of loved horror. I loved reading Stephen King, stuff like
Yeah.
that. But then after kids, no more.
Same with you?
Yep, same
Yeah.
with me.
I
No,
never
I didn't
enjoyed
want
any
any-
of that, but especially after kids, I can't.
But I also can't ride like Pirates of the Caribbean, and I have a little bit of a hard time in Haunted Mansion because there's like symbols
Really?
of like I don't want to be reminded of death. Like
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes
We're
it
gonna need
bothers
to
me more than
unpack
others.
that later.
I know. I think we'll
Get a little therapy
do a therapy
session.
session version of this.
So are you okay with like thrill rides, like roller coasters and stuff?
Oh
But you-
yeah,
but
yeah,
you
yeah.
just,
yeah.
Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
I love those as long as they don't go upside down too many times because then I just want to puke.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I can't do those anymore now.
So
I
you,
have
you
kids,
can't do
too.
any of the
Oh, you know
roller
what I can't
coasters?
do though? The stupid spaceship Earth.
Nobody can do that one.
Stupid thing.
Yeah.
No, Mission Space.
Oh, Mission
Mission
Space.
Space.
Oh my
Nobody can do it.
gosh.
No,
My
that's a
son
day
and I arrived
ruiner.
at Disney World a night before everybody else did. And so we were like, let's go into Epcot and do a few rides because that was the one park we really weren't going to see. And we were waiting to go on, we were going to go on the Frozen ride, but right next
Such a
door
good
was
ride.
that Mission Space. Is that what it is? And so we went on it, and it's like you can take the red or the green path, right? The red is
Yep.
like extreme and
Choose
the green,
green.
is easy. Well, and I kept telling Tucker, I think we should go for him. I was like, we should go in the green. We should go in the green. He's like, no, I'll be okay. And I was like, all right. And I didn't know what this ride was. And we were on the red line, and suddenly last minute, thankfully, I said, we're going to switch to the green. So we had to go all the way back outside, get back online, go back
No way.
in. So we go in the green one, and when we got on there, I'm telling you, I'm not even really claustrophobic. I think I am now. That thing, they put the strap down over your
That'll do
shoulders,
it.
and then the spaceship closes in your face, and there's no way out, and you're strapped in, and then you start pretending like you're going up in a rocket. And I was like, I could see past my son that I could see out that if I had to vomit, I could go that way. But I was like, this is awful. Like,
Oh, they put a
I've been
vomit
on
bag
this.
in front of you.
oh yeah, there was a vomit bag.
No, the
It
reason we
was
didn't go on it was
awful.
our daughter put together a PowerPoint presentation, and there was the do's and don'ts. This was on the
That's
don't
right.
list, and
Yes.
this was why because of this.
Right.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, we took
And that was the
them-
easy
Smart
version. I don't
girl.
even know what the other version I hear spins you around or something. This one just makes it feel
Oh,
like you're being pushed
no.
up through the atmosphere, and you're going straight up, and it's like the G-force and all that. And but you're strapped in too. It's not like you and
That feeling is not okay.
and it's so loud, and you're like, and you have a mask on.
Yeah.
So you're like, I can't scream. I can't.
If you puke, it's just going
It's coming
straight.
right
I started
back.
getting so hot.
Staying
I was like,
with
this
you.
is awful.
I did something
I've-
even worse than that.
no.
Remember I told you about trauma in Japan?
Yeah,
So
and
no,
you
so-
had to sign like a.
I had to sign an NDA, so I won't talk about too much because that's what I guess that's part of like the thrill of this ride. You're not even allowed
You
to
had to
talk about it.
sign an NDA for
Yeah.
a ride.
It's
in
called
Osaka, right?
It's in Osaka Universal, and it's like during Halloween, and it's literally this torture like device that you go in, and
Oh,
it's
no,
kind of VR, and it's
There is
terrorize. They
no
terrorize
way.
you.
You have
You
nightmares?
first walk into a
Well,
room.
you can't talk about it,
Well,
right?
I can give a little bit, right? it's supposed to be kind of like a
You're the one
hospital.
that signed the NDA, not me. So
Oh, they're gonna come
Business
after me.
wife over here. I like it.
It's this really terrible ride though, but you purposely go on it. Like people are into this.
Yeah.
Especially in Japan, I guess. Like you want to
My
be
son, my 9-year-old, would
terrorized.
love it. Would love that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like,
it
all
was
he wants to
scary.
play is Five Nights at Freddy's on VR and all that scary, spooky stuff. Like
Yeah.
he is not my child.
It was wild though. We thought it was gonna be like a haunted house or something. They take, but you're in this waiting room and they pull you in one at a time, and you can't go with anyone else. You have to do it alone. That's what's even
Oh,
worse.
no,
You do it
forget
alone.
it.
No, no, I can't even
But-
walk
thank
through
you.
those.
It was
So
fun.
Are you traumatized?
Afterward, I definitely was, but in a good way. Like I was like high fiving my brother and stuff.
Well,
it was fun.
Is Squid Games? Is that from
that-
Japan also?
Oh, that was another game. It's a
Korea.
Korean.
Korea, yeah.
Korea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
you
was
guys like that?
fantastic.
Yeah.
We watched that.
That was good.
Well, that's what the
but I had a
trauma
lot of
sounds like, Squid
anxiety.
Game.
Yeah,
I have a
you're
lot.
right.
I had a lot of anxiety with that one too.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
pushed through it. I don't know.
Yeah,
We
my
didn't-
son
I don't
really
think I
wanted to. My
could.
14-year-old, 13 at the time, he really wanted to watch it, and
Might be a long.
I was like, all right, well, we did with my 9-year-old too. Because my 9-year-old can handle
my
some
God.
scary stuff, but then I was like, yeah, okay. So I think I watched like 1.5, and I was like, I'm good right now. I'll take a break and I'll come back to it.
Did you guys do the subtitles, or did you do? What did we do?
yeah.
We did
Yeah, we
voiceovers.
did.
No,
English
it was
voiceover.
dubbed.
We did. Yeah.
It was the
Yeah.
dubbed over and it took me, funny enough, took a second for me to realize, and I went, oh, this isn't an American show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why I did
Yeah.
I
wasn't
because
apparent
what?
to you.
Because my son's 13. We gotta watch Squid Games. Okay, what's it on? Netflix. Okay, we gotta watch Squid Games. Okay, I put it on, and then I'm like, it took me a few minutes to go, oh, this is dubbed. They're not
Yeah.
speaking English.
Yeah.
Hold on. Those
Yeah.
amounts are not matching up.
Yeah, Logan and I started it thinking it was a game show. We quickly
That's
figured-
what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what he thought too when I told him.
I didn't know
about
what I was watching. I'm like, what's all the hype about this? And they did red light, green light, and I was like, oh my god. And I was hooked.
No, I was gone. I was like,
Yeah.
it. No, but I like the more fun, romantic. Like I'm huge into Bridgerton. That's like one of my
yeah.
favorites. I'm so excited it's
season
coming back
2,
next
it's
month.
coming.
I have no idea what you're even talking about right now.
I
You-
still
you don't
watch
want
Grey's.
it's
I-
so lovely.
It's fluff.
I still watch Grey's. I've watched Grey's
Oh,
Anatomy
Grey's
since
Anatomy,
day
I used
yeah.
to
one.
love Grey's. I forgot that's still on. I gotta watch
That
that again.
makes fun of me.
I
It's
gave
like,
up
I don't
like
know how you can
it
still
was like
watch it.
15 seasons. I'm like, I can't do anymore. It's,
It's
just
my
too much.
How many
favorite. I don't
McDreamies and
know.
McSteamies are there now?
Oh my gosh, so many different ones.
McSteamy's on Euphoria, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
steamy. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Amanda, have you ever used Masterclass?
I have. I'm a big fan.
I love it so much. It's so simple. It's an app on your phone or your computer.
It's everywhere you are.
You can listen in the car.
Yes.
And they have so many amazing, talented people, and they just share their knowledge of things. Like, I'm looking right now, right? So Steve Martin has endless funny ideas. You are a thought machine. Like, this is Steve Martin talking to you about mastering his skills, right?
Yes.
So comedy. And there's Judy Blume. I mean, she's talking about
Writing.
yes, about...
Well, I saw on there that there's Jane Goodall.
There's Jane Goodall, yes, who is teaching about animal complex emotions. There's Shonda Rhimes talking about what fuels her passion. And there's Margaret Atwood, who I love because she wrote Handmaid's Tale. Gordon Ramsay teaches about cooking. You can learn poker. You can learn writing, directing, filmmaking. I sent one to my sister-in-law the other day. I was like, you need to get on this one because it was like collaborating in film on fashion. So she does wardrobe for movies. So I was like, well, you need to
That's
get
definitely
in
right
on
up
this one, right?
And I mean, if you're like us and you are a professional student where you just want to be a
I want to
learner,
learn all the time.
then this is perfect for you.
You know, and it's not necessary to sit down and consume a full class from start to finish. So some of the classes are just about 10 minutes and you can do 10, 12. I think there's some of them are like 15 classes long, and you can just pop in and pop out whenever you have the time
And there's
learn something
supplementary
new.
materials that go along with it. So if you're learning how to cook, the recipes are there.
Yeah, or even if you just want to get a little bit better at something you already know or learn a new secret from somebody else that you admire, I highly recommend you guys check this out, okay? You can get unlimited access to every masterclass. And as a What Women Binge listener, you get 15% off an annual membership. So go to masterclass.com/WWB now. That's masterclass.com/WWB for 15% off Masterclass.
Thank you, Masterclass, for sponsoring What Women Binge.
So, Amanda, you know, one of the most important things I've learned as I age is that I don't want to look like I'm aging. So, you know how I do that, right? Don't we all? I have been protecting my skin with Apostrophe.
I have to say, my skin is glowing thanks to my Apostrophe prescription.
Yeah, Apostrophe is a prescription skincare company. It offers science-backed oral and topical medications that are clinically proven to help clear up acne and to help with your unique skin. So whether it's age spots or it's wrinkles or whatever your challenge is, Apostrophe can help.
And it's personalized treatment plans by a board-certified dermatologist, and it is perfectly tailored to you and your unique skin. And all you have to do is fill out Apostrophe's online quiz about your skin, tell them what your goals are, your medical history. You take a few selfies. I recommend doing that before you log on because the quiz is so fast. And then a dermatologist will create a custom treatment plan, and they will email it directly to you.
I love their packaging. Like, their packaging is really cute. So mine is to put on at night. So I have a little PM sticker that I stuck on the top of it.
Oh, I love how you get to decorate your bottle and make it uniquely yours. And the company checks in on you too.
Yeah, they want to make sure everything's going well.
Yeah, that everything's working well for you.
So we have a deal for our audience. You can save $15 off your first visit with an Apostrophe provider at apostrophe.com/WWB when you use our code WWB. And this code is only available to our listeners.
And to get started, just go to apostrophe.com/WWB and click begin visit. Then use our code WWB at sign up and you'll get your first visit for only $5.
That's APOSTROPHE.com/WWB and use that code WWB to get your dermatologist crafted treatment plan for $5. And we want to thank Apostrophe for being a wonderful sponsor of What Women Binge. Well, we have a few questions we have to ask you that we've asked everybody in this first season because you're our last guest of the first season.
Wow.
So you guys are the last ones to get these specific questions.
All right.
So I need to know what shows are listed under your continue watching. Like, what shows haven't you finished?
We were
Well, Euphoria is an ongoing one.
Yellowstone. We're only
Yellowstone,
one
too.
season in. Right?
And then I joked and it said Bluey. I don't. Do you
Oh,
guys know
yeah.
Bluey?
You and I-
Continually.
Oh,
Bluey
yeah,
is
Bluey.
constantly on.
Constantly on.
Constantly on.
I need to watch
We've
the-
seen both seasons.
Did you know Bluey's a
over and
girl?
over?
Yes.
Our kid.
Yes.
So we kept saying he.
Took a while.
And
but-
our kids were like, "No, Bluey's a girl." We're like, "Oh, we didn't realize that."
I had no clue.
Our kids had to smarten us up.
one I need to watch still is the new Dexter because I was a huge Dexter fan.
See,
Yes.
I've always
Yes.
thought I would love Dexter, and I haven't watched it.
It's great.
Maybe
I had
that's
to
my
stop-
like.
I had to
stop
watching
We
watching
it.
watched the first Dexter. We haven't seen the new one. but
See,
we
I
need to.
put it in the. Well, my husband and I were huge House fans, and I think Dexter seems
That was
along those
too.
lines.
Yep.
Yeah,
Another one for me, Curb Your Enthusiasm. I haven't finished the
that's like a
newest
constant
season.
one. I like
Yeah.
that show
It's
too.
like sandpaper on your nerves.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I love
Even though
it
you're
because
saying
I
you love
hate it.
but
Yeah.
you- yeah.
Well, okay, Larry David, he's hysterical.
He's
He's,
brilliant.
so
he
brilliant.
can get away with anything.
Every
It's crazy.
star actor on that show, I love them, but there is nothing that will give me more anxiety than knowing he's about to victimize someone else on purpose.
Yes.
And it just eats me.
I get that.
All right, what book has been on your nightstand a little too long?
Midnight Sun for me.
I need to finish the Will Smith and the Scottie Pippen book.
Yeah.
Will Smith.
Both are supposed to be really
But
good.
they're not on your
Yeah.
nightstand, they're in your phone.
They're on my phone. Everything's on my
Well,
phone.
yeah.
It is
I mean,
audiobooks.
That's
It's
okay.
easier.
That's
So
okay.
cheap.
We'll accept that. I've just started because I realized that's a lot easier.
Yeah.
So what's your go-to podcast for commutes?
I've got a few. I like Armchair Expert with Dexter.
Oh, yeah,
That's
that
really
one.
good.
I forgot.
Of course, I listen to Rogan sometimes. What else do I? A lot of the murder mystery stuff. I'm into that. And I know it's a girl thing, right? But I'm into
No,
it.
I think that's
Yeah.
Then you should try Only Murders in the Building again, I think.
All right.
yes,
Yeah,
for
I think
sure.
so too.
Yeah.
What about a show you watch only to have something to talk about with other people? Like I feel like I have to get through White Lotus just to be able to talk to people about it.
Shameless for me.
Oh, that's a good one. That's another one we started and didn't
That's
finish.
another one we started. I'm still, I think, on season 1.
Yeah. God, I don't know. Maybe
I
you
started
stole
that
my
a
answer.
while ago.
Yeah.
Do you guys match up when you're gone? Like, are you like, okay, let's watch this tonight? Or
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or don't watch this one without me until I get home. You know?
yeah.
Maybe wrestling shows just so I know what I'm watching or what's out there, what's happening to try to
Not
keep up a
necessarily
little
that you care, but
Yeah.
that
Right.
you need to know.
bit. Right.
More research.
All right, what's your all-time favorite movie?
The Notebook for me.
Jeez, you had that
Super
ready
cheesy.
to go.
It's an easy one.
It's
it's been
so
my favorite.
good.
I
she's-
can literally, if it's on TV, we're flipping through channels,
Yeah.
I will stop and watch that.
I've got a
till the end
lot,
every
like,
time.
because I love all movies. Like, if you ask me horror, I love the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then I love Parenthood. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, it just
Yeah.
changes. Like,
There's a Steve Martin one.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
I love
that's a
Steve
great
Martin.
one.
We have a bunch of like movies that we go and watch too. Like, Notebook's actually one we watch every year, probably, right?
Yeah,
Aw.
probably.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
There's an old
They're
NBA
super
movie I
cheesy.
love called Forget Paris. I don't know if you guys remember that one, Billy Crystal.
Yeah.
I like weird movies. Like,
No, that's awesome.
yeah.
What about a beauty product you can't live without?
Mine is, I don't know how to pronounce the brand, Laneige. It's their night mask for your lips.
Yes.
My favorite. I have a little travel size one.
I know mine. So Sally's Beauty, they have this like, she already knows what I'm. Oh, sorry.
I already know where
Brandon's
this is
popping over
going.
here. It's self tanner, and I use it every week.
Oh, well,
Body-
you're
body
kind of
drench.
required.
Is it body
Body
drench?
drench.
Yes.
drench.
Okay.
Yeah,
Write that
nice.
down.
We buy it in
You
bulk.
actually don't look orange at all.
Not right now. I haven't put it on yet.
Oh, okay.
Give me a second.
He hasn't been on TV a whole lot lately.
Last week I
so-
wore it. I was pretty bad. People were like talking. Every person came up
We'll
to
see
me like,
tonight.
you
It'll
look
be a
weird.
little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What show did you expect to like but then didn't like?
We just talked about this.
Yeah, what
Can
was
I
it?
write them down? I'm going to cheat.
That's fine.
She was quizzing me yesterday.
So I've been, you talk about podcasts. I'm not usually into podcasts, and I
Mm-hmm.
have religiously
You should have talked about this one. She's
Listen,
listened to every episode
every
of this.
episode,
Good.
every week. It's
Yay.
been
Yeah.
great. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Well, you said you liked Candace King, right?
Yes, Vampire Diaries was.
Have you
one of
listened
my
to
favorites.
Directionally Challenged yet?
No, I
That's
haven't.
her
Great
podcast.
podcast.
I need to listen to it. We had said Dead to Me and The Servant.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
We tried to get into The Servant. It's just so weird.
Yeah. I haven't tried that one yet because I think it does look a little
It's
bizarre.
on what, the third season now?
You didn't like Dead to Me
Think so.
though?
We
We quit.
watched the first season,
loved it.
and that was good. And then
You didn't.
second
You were
season,
so
we just
curious to
couldn't
start
get into
episode
it.
season 2.
I don't know what happened
We
there.
started it. I think we watched the first 2 episodes.
Well-
I think,
Yeah.
and then it was just like
I guess season
I don't
2
know.
does sort of it kind of flatlines. I think for a bit. I feel like you know it. If I remember correctly, because it was a while ago that I watched it, but it kind of you get this, you solve the cliffhanger from season 1, and then you're
Right.
sort of like back into the same
Now what?
situation. You're
Yeah.
like, why are we doing
Yeah.
this again?
I think the other one for us too was what was it? 9 Perfect Strangers
Oh,
yeah.
right.
on Hulu.
I haven't watched this, but I
I gave up on that.
really want to.
I don't know. I want to say we watched almost the whole thing.
Really?
I think we got like at least halfway through.
Yeah. I remember quitting. I just don't remember we watched that much
Yeah,
of it.
I
Similar
remember
taste.
quitting.
I'm going to take all your advice because I like what you don't like. I mean, I don't like what you don't like.
Yeah.
If you could take one food to a deserted island, what would it be?
Oh, pizza.
Pizza, for sure.
I'm the same.
It's got to be gluten-free
These are my
pizza for
people.
me
Yeah,
too.
gluten-free
I
pizza
order
for
really
Matt.
weird pizza now because I'm older now. Like I have a dairy allergy, so now it's
I feel- I'm
gluten-free,
with
no
you.
cheese.
Same with me. But
Really?
here's the thing. I
I've
can't.
created the perfect dairy-free, gluten-free pizza.
Really?
Oh.
Just load up the toppings, right? Is that yeah?
Pesto sauce.
Oh yeah.
We have not done pesto.
I've done
You
it
would
at
love that.
Biology. I
All
thought.
the veggies. You can do. I don't know if you can do sheep dairy.
I've never done.
with
No, I've
feta
never
cheese,
tried.
a sprinkle of feta cheese, like
Is
garlic.
that what feta is?
Yeah,
I did not. Oh, I did not know
I
that.
didn't know that either.
Feta and goat
Learn
cheese
something new
are
every
both
day.
yeah.
non-dairy.
It's
I'm
so
gonna have to
delicious.
try that.
though.
Wait, but
Spinach,
is gluten-free
waffles.
pizza the same thing as cauliflower crust?
Some
No.
of them.
No,
Some
because
of
I don't
them.
think
And the
gluten-free
other-
pizza.
The other
dough
thing you have to be careful
agrees with
too. So he cannot do gluten, eggs. Well, you can do eggs more so now.
A little bit more, yeah.
But when we first started, it was no gluten, no eggs, no dairy, and cauliflower uses egg to kind of hold
As a
everything
binder.
together as a binder.
Yeah.
Exactly.
See, I can do egg. I just can't do milk and cheese and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
like the other day, I did a gluten-free pizza with ricotta and feta and olives. That's like my go-to. But the gluten-free crust, I don't know.
It's hit or
heavy.
miss.
It depends where you
find
go.
the right one.
The cauliflower at like CPK or something is like
Oh,
a
that's
nice.
good.
light-
That's good.
Yeah,
I've
I
had
like that
that.
one. What is one book that you have on your bucket list that you want to read someday? You just haven't gotten to it.
Jeez. I've always told myself I'd read the entire Bible one day, and I've not even come close to that. Does that count?
You should talk to my
Yes,
husband. I
that
think he's read it
counts.
9 times through now. But
There's a podcast that one of my friends has to help you get through it in like chunks in a year. It's really
Ooh.
good.
yeah.
I'm going to have to look into that. That's a good one.
Dana, any for you?
I don't think so.
Not
I'm
War and
going to
Peace,
steal
or-
Matt's.
We always go to War and Peace.
I've always heard about that.
You don't
Yeah,
want
it's
to
an
read
easy
War
one.
and Peace. If
I
I'm
think
be honest with
actually,
you.
I think I do. I think the Harry Potter series. I just started the first book with my daughter, and she's actually been. I started reading it to her, and she's like, "Mom, let me read it." So I think that is probably.
There's a lot of
Maybe
great
for me.
wrestler autobiographies that I could easily point at and say. Ones I have read, Mick Foley's "Have a Nice Day" is the first one I ever read. It's the best wrestling book.
And you have a book.
And we have a book too, yeah.
It's right over there.
Yeah.
Young Bucks.
Yeah, that was the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
Oh, stop it!
You
2
had a rough
years of
time.
just hell.
You and I both can commiserate on that. We did not like writing our books.
The pictures was that was
was
There's
fun.
some really
fun.
sweet ones of you two together.
Oh yeah, there's one of her walking me down
Platinum blonde hair.
when I was a backyard wrestler in my backyard when I was
Yes.
how old? 18.
Y'all were
18,
young.
19.
Like
I was
teenagers.
18. Yeah.
That was right after I graduated high school.
She's been we were high school sweethearts. We've been together forever.
for a long time.
I love that.
That is really great.
A movie you feel you should have watched but haven't.
I know yours because I gave you your answer last night.
The
I was like, "Have you ever
Godfather.
seen The Godfather?" She's like, "No." I was like, "What?" That's your.
I'm
I've seen
surprised
so
that I
many.
haven't seen that because that's one of your favorites.
Oh, you need to see
Yeah.
it. So good.
I don't know. I don't.
Watch it during the daytime. It'll
Yeah.
stick
Like an
with you.
Elvis movie or a
Maybe the older
Audrey
movies.
Hepburn. You feel like you
Yeah, maybe some of that old school stuff. Like go back and watch that. During the pandemic, I was like obsessed. Like I'm gonna watch any movie because I had so much extra time.
Right.
So I kind of watched them all. Like I can't think of
Yeah.
anything. I'm like, I need to watch that.
Oh, that's funny. I
Yeah.
have such a long list. What about a workout or a class you're obsessed with?
Nothing for me.
My workouts change all the time. Like sometimes I'll go through these weird fads or like I'm a CrossFit guy and I'll just do crazy. I'm doing pull-ups every day. And right now I'm doing this crazy workout where I'm on an elliptical and I have to hold a 20-pound kettlebell the entire time for a half hour without putting it down.
Yesterday he was working out and all of a sudden I heard, ugh. And I'm like, I opened the door. I'm like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. Just taking a break. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
it sounded like something
Well,
bad happened.
I like
Hold it just like in
you
your
have to hold
hands?
it.
And
I
do
like
the
to actually
He's
work out with it. Like I'm
Oh, you're
doing
doing-
upright rows and I'm doing curls and all this crazy stuff.
Oh, all while.
30
Yes,
minutes?
for 30 minutes. You can't put it down. If you
So
if
you're
you put
like
it down,
trying
you're
to
done.
balance.
Sounds
Yeah,
miserable.
And
and I'm going
move.
uphill too. I have it like on 12.
This sounds.
It's terrible.
He's insane.
But if you do that, you'll be able to wrestle no problem.
I mean, yeah, you got to jump on
Yeah.
Paul White's back.
I
next
like
time.
to
Take
work
him
out
down.
so hard sometimes that it feels like I might die, like in the
Oh
middle
my
of the
gosh.
workout.
And you enjoy this.
I hate it. It's the worst thing ever.
But it gets
Okay,
you
so
ready
we're
for
not
what you
alone.
gotta
He's
do.
crazy.
All right, what's your most juicy guilty pleasure?
My shoes, I mean, for sure.
Definitely.
Like how much did I spend on shoes last year? $100,000 on shoes. Or something.
Oh my god.
Like,
I don't think it was that much.
it wasn't that
I
much.
think you're
This is
exaggerating
why.
a little
This
bit.
is why God gave you giant feet, so I can't have
You
nice
can't have
shoes.
Yeah.
big shoes.
Yeah.
I think playing video games for me at night.
She's
when
on
you're
all
home-
day. It's crazy. Not
What
all
video
day.
games?
Not all day.
All night though. Like I'll be asleep.
I-
and she'll
go
play.
to-
I
game
am
right now.
still into The Sims from when I was a kid. That's
Oh
like one of my favorites.
You are my people.
And then I was into Animal Crossing over the pandemic when we were all locked down.
Yeah.
And then my daughter and I have gotten into Stardew Valley too. So nothing like crazy.
you like to
but
play God.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's so fun.
Do you guys have your phones on you?
Yes.
I
We have
don't.
to ask you
Mine's
a
in
quick
my
question.
thing.
All right,
good.
so
You
Dana,
brought it.
how many unread emails do you have?
Oh God, mine.
I'm actually pretty good about it. I have 10 work emails and then only 6 personal right
I
now.
love her.
She's your people. So
Oh, mine's in like the
I ha-
10,000s.
I try and go
probably.
through. Yours is out of control. I try and
is
go
out of
through
control.
and clear his out.
She used to go through
What
mine.
are you at? Because last time I heard you were in like 90,000 something, right?
So Melissa's made me clear out. Hang on.
But I made her, she went and
really-
clicked red, which is just cheating. If you click red instead of like unread,
That doesn't count.
That
cheating
doesn't
count.
count. So now how many? You're at 124 unread.
Oh my gosh.
No, that's
Oh,
messages.
sorry. Oh my God, that's your phone calls? Amanda.
124 missed calls.
Matt has unread voicemails like crazy. So this is my nightmare, having all the little red notifications. It drives me absolutely crazy.
I know. Voicemails. So she's got 900. Wait, what did I
You get a lot of spam calls?
958 unread emails right now. So you're not doing very well, girl. I'm going to talk to you about this. You got it. Wait. Oh, no, but that's in your inbox.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
Those are just the unread ones.
My texts are pretty bad.
I've really come a long way.
See, I got to keep that.
I was at 94,000 before I hit
I was going to say,
mark all
How
red.
do you get that many?
how did you jump down so far? So I was going to ask.
You just select.
She literally
all.
hit
Mark all
read
red.
all.
Yeah.
And it was like cheating. And I was like, all right, but you still
Well,
have to clean them out.
This one still has an old AOL email
Yeah, I
address. So
do.
that's part of the problem
Oh.
too. And I've heard your secret that you got from your brother, right? About creating
Yes.
different emails. And that's what I do too. I think that's the biggest
create an
secret.
email address for your online shopping,
would
for your
never-
shoe obsession, so you don't see
Yes.
them every time you open up your emails.
How do you remember all those passwords?
You know, I tried to go on yesterday. I thought it was going to be easy. I went on that on my computer. I went on that passwords thing, and it was like, you should change some of your passwords because you've used the same one too many times. I was going to change them all.
hate
It's
that.
so hard.
There is an
I need
app.
one for all things.
There is an app that I use, and
how you get
it's
hacked,
the
though.
best thing ever. That's during the pandemic, I swear, like all of our stuff got hacked. My Disney account got hacked.
Everything.
That's
right.
Somebody tried ordering groceries on one of my delivery apps that I had.
Oh, no.
So I have a password app. I'll have to share it with you guys. It's the best thing
Yeah.
ever, and it creates passwords for you and autofills, and it's
Okay.
Oh, see, that
the
always
best
scares
thing
me. If I
ever.
don't know what it is, it scares me.
I know it. Trust me, it scares. I know the passwords for like certain things to get into because I'm like, nope, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't not know what it is. But
Facial recognition helps, I think.
I like that a
Yes.
lot,
Yeah.
but then you
That
cannot
helps,
remember
too.
what the hell that
and you cannot
password
forget
is
to
from
get your
years ago.
Botox.
yep, yeah.
Oh, I know. All right, so we've got
Things
some
go
this or that
south.
questions for you guys.
Literally.
Take it over.
Okay. This or that. You ready?
Okay. Yep.
Wine or beer?
Beer for me.
Wine. It's taken me 36 years to even try it, but wine.
Housewives or Kardashians?
Neither.
God, housewives.
I think if I had to pick, probably Housewives.
Pizza or tacos?
Pizza.
Pizza.
So they said it for their
Pizza's my
dessert.
favorite
I know,
food.
but
Yeah.
okay. Soft or firm mattress?
Soft.
Man, it depends on
Now-
what injury I'm going through that night.
I say in your older age, probably firm. for
Probably
you.
firm now, yeah.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Mountains.
Coffee at home or Starbucks?
Starbucks.
Nespresso is fine with me.
Target, Starbucks.
Coffee
No.
at home. Not Target, Starbucks.
Sweet or salty?
Salty.
Sweet.
Country or rock?
Country.
Country rock.
Little
There you
Leonard
go.
Skinner.
Dog or cat?
Dog.
Dog.
Art or sport?
Art.
God, sports entertainment, so it's kind of art.
That's true.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I'll go with
So I'm
that.
not really a huge sports guy, so yeah, let's do that.
All right,
Okay.
all right.
It is art.
Very cool. You guys are like kind of perfectly paired. I'd
I
say you
know,
have, like
opposites
enough in
attract.
common and enough opposite.
I
Yeah.
like it.
Not too
The
bad.
balance, the sweet and salty.
Well, thank you guys so much for being here. We want to let everybody at home know what's the website again to get.
So shopaew.com is our All Elite Wrestling mega merchandise store.
Yeah. You can watch our show. We're now on TBS every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. We also have a show on Friday nights called Rampage on TNT. So we're kind of on the
10
TBS 10 o'clock, right?
Yep.
Yep. And then Being the Elite is on beingtheelite.com. You can check out our YouTube channel.
And then
So,
your favorite book in the whole world, Young Bucks, is available.
youngbucksbook.com. You can buy our book.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for being
Thanks for
here.
having
I can't
us.
wait to
it's
see
so
you guys.
nice to have you
Can't
guys
wait to
here.
see you
This is
tonight.
so fun.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, and next week we have an awesome episode where we're going to share our secrets before we start our season 2.
Yes, we're going to share. Oh, you guys have to leave a secret
Oh,
in
that's
the
right.
jar.
Okay.
Yes.
And then
All right.
we're going to reveal the secrets next week. So
Or at least
you
guess.
don't have to tell us which one. We're gonna do our best to guess. Could be a little unsatisfying, but
You got it.
we'll do
Thank
our
you,
best to
guys.
guess.
Thanks,
for
guys.
being
Thank
here.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for joining us for What Women Binge. You can connect with all of us on your favorite social media platforms. We have at What Women Binge. Amanda.
I'm at Amanda WWB.
I'm at Melissa Joan Hart. And if you haven't already, you can subscribe anywhere you get podcasts. You can find all of our links at whatwomenbinge.com and subscribe on YouTube. Our wonderful theme song was written and produced by my cute husband, Mark Wilkerson. What Women Binge is produced by Laugh-O-Gram Studios, video production by Matt Giesler, and audio by Matt Lott, and production assistant Jennifer Best. What Women Binge is distributed by Podcast Heat. For more information, visit podcastheat.com.